I just ranted out to the universe. I just blew up and I just said, I've had it. I've been a mother since I was 20. I've gone through all of these things. I did my job. I need to find something else. The next day I open my computer and I see an email from Bhushan, and he says, Fran, I need you to come to Malaysia because I need to have all of my managers here for a month. A 1 month invitation, and then I break the news to my family, and my ex-husband said, what am I supposed to do with the kids? And we had a woman that helped us, that lived with us to help 24/7. And I just said, you know what? Make sure they don't die. Fuck it. First time in my 37 years of age that I thought about me first. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to survive and I needed that.
Hey loves, do me a quick favor and hit the subscribe or follow button wherever you are tuning into this. It helps grow the show more than you know. Thank you so much again and enjoy. I want to just jump in because you've led an extraordinary life. You have been behind the scenes really as a literally caretaker for so many people. You've been in that support space, supporting people in that support role. And you are a mother of 2.
Yeah.
One of them is autistic, was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And you navigated that. You've been through a ton of different challenges, from abusive relationships to fleeing in the middle of the night with your young baby, becoming a single mother, finding love again, getting divorced again, and being on your 2 feet at the same time. You've arrived.
I have a life that it seems like a lot, but it's more normal for many of us women who try to be these super women, super wives, super moms, super everything. And then it comes a point where we have to break down in order to break free and rebuild ourselves. So I'm in that part.
Yeah. And when did you feel, or when did you recognize that you wanted to break free from that? What was that turning point for you?
For the longest time, I was living like inside of a matrix. And I just didn't know that I was inside of a matrix. And then I remember, and it's going to sound maybe silly, but I was watching this movie, Stepford Wives. And I started crying, like a lot. And it was because I saw myself in one of those pretty robots. And I was baking cookies and taking care of my kids and taking my son to therapy and my daughter to dance lessons, taking care of the house, having 2 jobs, doing all of the things. And for the longest time, I thought, this is what a mom and a wife is supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be taking care of everything. And I just didn't know that I had a choice. So yes, I was exhausted, but I thought all mothers have to feel this way. Then one day, I start to feel this pressure inside of me. And I was going to bed crying. And I said, but I have this beautiful house. My kids are okay. I'm married. I'm living in a nice neighborhood. I'm supposed to have the dream. Why am I not happy? And there was something that was happening inside of me, something that was bubbling inside of me. And one night I just sat out in my terrace with a bottle of wine. It wasn't a glass, it was a bottle. And I said to the universe, what the fuck? There has to be something more to life than this. It is not possible that my life is just a list of to-dos. And I didn't know what that more to life was, but I know it had to be something more than just responsibility all the time. Yeah. So I remember I just ranted out to the universe. It's not that I was meditating and all of that. I just blew up and I just said, I've had it. I've been a mother since I was 20. I've gone through all of these things. I did my job. I need to find something else. And so I go to sleep. The next day, I open my computer and I see an email from Bhushan, the owner of Mind Valley, and he says, Fran, I need you to come to Malaysia because I need to have all of my managers here for a month. And I said, wow, a 1 month invitation just for me. So I was like kind of excited and scared. And how do I do this? Because it never happened. And then I break the news to my family. And my ex-husband said, what am I supposed to do with the kids? And Abby was 13, and Eduardo, my oldest, was 17. I mean, they were not babies. And we had a woman that helped us, that lived with us to help 24/7. And I just said, you know what? Make sure they don't die. I mean, fuck it. And that was the first time in my 37 years of age that I thought about me first. Mm. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to survive, and I needed that. Mm. And I remember going through customs and just feeling so guilty because I never left my kids and my responsibilities. And then I went through customs. There was no way back. And I just said, oh, fuck, yes. Yes. And I went through the first time in a honeymoon with myself and to start this journey. And then I didn't ever want to go back to not loving myself.
It's so beautiful because, well, first of all, that trek from Costa Rica to Kuala Lumpur must have been a really long trek.
36 hours.
36 hours. Bananas. But also when you get the call, because it seems like so many of us, we get the call, we don't answer it. You got the invitation from that person, and we get these invitations daily to change our life, to go to the gym, to end that relationship, to not respond to the text message, or to respond to the invitation to come out, to share your story on a presentation in front of a boardroom, in front of 3 people, and we don't take it. We are afraid, maybe, of our own light. What do you say to that?
I think that the majority of us women, what we do is we tend to put everybody else first. We feel it's our responsibility to take our children, our partner, our friends, our everybody first. And we have to take care of everybody first. Mm. But the thing that we forget is that if we don't take care of ourselves first, there is nothing much that we can do for others. Mm. But it's a hard thing to learn. Mm. And I only learned it after that trip with myself. And then in the 40s that I incorporated oh my God, what do I want? What do I want? What does it feel resonant with me? And I feel like that voice and that calling that you say, that we all have it, we tend to shut it up, to put it away. But once we awaken that voice and we give it life again and we connect to that voice, it's like, okay, I'm out of the cage and I'm never going back there. Mm. And that is delicious. And it's just giving that voice or opening the lock to that voice to come out and play again.
Well, because it's like you were ignited.
Yeah.
You came out of the box. You started following what we like to call our Dharma.
Yes.
And then a lot of amazing opportunities and things started to come your way.
Yeah.
Can you share?
Yeah. People told me, oh my God, Fran, you're so lucky. And I thought so much about that word lucky. And it's not luck. Opportunities are there abundantly for all of us. It is about noticing. First, noticing, and second, saying yes to them. Mm-hmm. Not from a place of lack or I am a victim, so I need a savior to come and help me out, but from a place of I'm a creatrix. Creatrix is the word.
Creatrix, yeah.
I'm abundant, and I'm going to claim it. And I'm going to connect with that thing that moves my heart. And then opportunities come. Mm. Because you start attracting, right? But not from a place of a victim. Mm. Mm-hmm. And start to connect with those energies, and you become a magnet. You are always a magnet of who you are. Yeah. So you attract more of that.
Well, and when you said yes, then it was when we had reconnected
Yeah.
in many powerful ways.
Yeah.
And what I've loved about you and in our deep, not just bond as friends, as soul sisters, and often when I started my journey into motherhood, I was like, Fran, I don't know what to do. What am I doing? And you were not only supporting so many coaches on, back then it was called EverCoach.
Yeah.
But then I said, okay, I'm starting this new thing with another friend of mine, and which was Dharma Coaching Institute. And it was so in alignment because what did we do there? We were helping people step into the highest version of themselves and to actually answer the call.
Yes.
And if anybody is on the verge of they're listening to this and they want to unleash their wings, and now you've written a book about it, and they want to answer the call to their own Dharma, to their highest expression of themselves, what would you say their fears, their biggest fears are?
Their biggest fear, I would say, is this: do I deserve this? This is too big. This feels too scary. Do I deserve this? Is it possible for me? And ever since we connected and we bonded and everything has felt so expansive, because we both have kind of the same Dharma of opening doors and just removing the blinds that people have, because we all know this. We all know our power. We all know our purpose. We just forget. Mm-hmm. Because we put layers and layers of to-dos, layers and layers of labels, and we forget of our inner power. So if your heart is calling you to do something different, that this is something that I would say to everybody. If your heart is calling you, it's because it's your time. Mm-hmm. And it is your choice always to say yes or no. And it might be scary to do something different. But ask yourself, what if I say yes? Even if you don't feel 100% ready, but what if I say yes? What if I have a teaser taste of this? And allow yourself to do it and play around with that.
Mm. That 36 hours of that honeymoon that you had in Kuala Lumpur, which completely changed the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
And you, at this point of the recording, you just launched and released your long-awaited book. Please tell us about it.
Yeah. So the 36 hours were just the trip, but I actually stayed for a month. And in that month, my entire career, my entire life flipped. It started with a question, what do you want? And I'm like, wow, I don't know. And last year, I did the talk on the Mind Valley Coach stage, and it was about finding those magical moments in the everyday life to build your own wings. And I see the wings as the icon of my transformation. So I get to this place where for the first time I'm alone. Nobody's depending on me. I am like really focusing on what do I want. And I say to the universe, you know what? I have HTD, so guide me and just give me, a sign or neon sign. Tell me, what am I supposed to be focusing on? So I go to the Mind Valley office and I see the wings. And I say, okay, that's the thing. For the next month, I'm going to find the feathers to my wings because I have them. I used to have them. What happened to me? I'm going to rebuild them. And every conversation and every little thing was a feather that allowed me to grow my wings. So I shared this on stage last year. And I remember people saying, oh my God, I found my feather. And I'm like, wow, this is not only my journey. So many people are looking for that journey. And I had this book that I was gestating inside of me, and it wanted to be birthed. And I was telling everybody, grow your wings. You're powerful. Remember that. And then my daughter, she's also a coach, she says, Ma, you're so full of shit. You're telling everybody to be big, to be bold. What about you? And I'm like, shit. That's the thing about having a coach at home. So I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to write a book, but I'm not a writer. And I said, you know what? It's fine. I'm going to share my story. And it is about that discovery. And that is And then I went and I had all of these beautiful experience last year, and the energy, and all of you guys were there to support me and champion me, and I'm like, wow, it felt so expansive.
And people were screaming, shouting, chanting your name. Go, Fran, go. You had 1,000 people in the audience last year.
Yeah, and that was impressive because it's like I didn't know how to receive. And I say, shit, I kept telling people every story is important. We're all changing the world. Each one of us is important and we have to share. And where am I doing my part? And so the book came, it flowed through me, and it was just the story of a normal, regular human who didn't believe in herself. And then the moment she did, everything changed. Angels started to come, you know? And that is what the book is about. You can create your reality no matter where you are in life, what has happened, how old you are, or young you are, or whatever. Everybody has the power to unleash your wings and reclaim that. And that is the thing, because how do we do something that feels delicious? Life is supposed to feel delicious. Not as a to-do, but something that feels expansive. That is the aim. Yeah.
And so let's dive into the book a little bit, because if you were giving this book to the younger version of yourself, what would you say?
I would have taken out the self-inflicting whip that judged me so hard in everything I did. I was so nurturing with everybody and so hard on myself because I thought I had to be perfect. I had to have everything figured out. If something went wrong, it was my fault. And I put so much responsibility. And I would have reminded my younger self that in the same way that I wanted all of the people that I love to enjoy life and to see the best of life, I had the same rights. That was that I think that would have been the biggest thing. Stop being so hard on yourself and such a perfectionist and such a so mean with yourself.
And what's the takeaway and the message that you want your readers to leave home with when they're using this book?
The inner power. For the longest time, I was financially broke. My son had received these really horrible diagnose of, you are very limited. Everything in my life was so hard. And I thought that there were so many things possible for so many people, but not for me. Because I had all of these conditions that happened. Life was happening to me. And the whole aim of this book is life is always happening for you. For you. And you're the creator. And anybody at any point has the power to turn it around and create the life in your own terms as you see it in every single area of your life.
It's fascinating to see how your intentionality, your power of saying yes to you, essentially, is what birthed and unleashed your wings. Into now, a year later, where we just saw you grace the stage again, this time 5,000 people. And how did it feel to share the launch of your book in front of so many people? Because a lot of these students that you've mentored, you've coached, you've trained, you've also trained in our communities as well at Dharma Coaching Institute, Highest Self Institute. Yeah. There's so many people rooting for you. How did that feel to actually even take in?
That is the thing that I'm learning now. How I was very much into my masculine energy of doing. And right now I'm stepping into my feminine energy again of receiving. And it was so real. People were writing to me like, oh my God, congratulations. And I look back, oh shit, it's me. That energy of receiving was very new to me, and I'm learning how to receive and not feel like, oh my God, I have to give you something back immediately, but just to receive, which is new. Yeah. And also reminded me to have those moments, or to have the grace to go into seasons with yourself.
And while you were writing the book, did any of your old patterns come up? Because when we are starting to change ourselves, our belief systems, walk into a new path of becoming an author, the old patterns tend to knock on the door and say, hey, not good enough. Hey, perfection.
Yeah.
Did those come up for you?
Yes. Yes, but the moment that you stop ignoring your inner voices that felt uncomfortable and you were like, oh, go under the floor and smile, shut up and smile. The moment you say, come, you got something to say, come tell me. It's like a kid. If a kid needs your attention and you're like, shh, 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 they will keep claiming your attention until you say, okay, I'm here. Mama's here. Talk to me. Here. So they talk to you. They feel okay. They go away. Do their thing. So writing the book, I actually saw many of my patterns and I'm like, I am repeating patterns. Holy shit. Okay. In the review, but I said, okay, I'm doing it now from a conscious place. What is a decision that I'm going to make? Without judgment. I'm just like, oh, now I know myself a little bit better. I'm going into this stage again. And right now, I just ended a 5-year relationship with my ex-boyfriend. We're very good friends. But I said, I'm repeating a pattern here that I don't want to repeat. And I am repeating a pattern of going a little bit overboard with work. I'm taking a honeymoon with myself, doing something that I love. So yes, it brought me a lot of the things and awareness, but also more playful. There's no judgment anymore, which is delicious.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
And I want to get into, so who is this book for and how do you think this will transform their life? Because obviously they're going to run and grab the book and we are going to put the link in the show notes. And I think that, you are such a testament for so many people to be able to do the impossible. 2 kids and a full career, and you still said yes to doing the uncomfortable.
This book is for women, I would say over 40, that we've gone through the whole life, building a family, building a career, trying to prove ourselves, especially, I know the Indian culture, Latin American culture for sure, and there's so many other cultures where we have been raised that we have to be smiling and perfect and cook and clean and have a career and all day long. And I'm acting because that is how it feels like.
Yeah.
And if you feel tired, deal with it because you're a mama. And then you have to also develop at work and bring the money and bring the... It's like... Ta-da-ta-ta, ta-da-ta-ta, ta-da-ta-ta. You have to juggle and like it. And so for those women who comes to a point where you feel like you lost track of who you are, what you want, and you want to get close to that. And the way that I like to teach, I love personal growth and all of that, but this is not like the 12 steps for your happiness, follow this. This is very much like a honeymoon with yourself. This is a self journey. So I tell you my story. I like to learn through humor. So you will see a lot of humor. But also it's very personable. Like I love your cards because of that. Because it extracts your truth, your journey. So the idea is that you read the book, and there are some journal questions that I got them from your book, That's Okra Wak. I thought that was a brilliant idea. The reflection exercises, because the idea is for you to build what is your honeymoon with yourself, what do you want to build, what is close to your heart, what do you want to let go of. So it's like a treasure hunt. To build your wings, so then at the end you'll learn how to fly.
So where can we get the book? How can we learn more about you and your journey? Because I know so many people are like, I love this Latina fiery queen.
Gracias. So right now, my book is on Amazon. So you can go and Google Unleash Your Wings. I just launched my website, franfaciocoach.com. And what is coming? I don't know. I'm going to figure that out in my 1 month honeymoon with myself. I wanted what comes to feel delicious. This is why I chose Italy and gelato and pasta and all of that, because I want to birth something that just feels delicious. You know, the thing that you would say yes to.
Ooh, delicious. Yeah. All right, Brave Table fam, what is feeling delicious and juicy in your life? And it only becomes natural when you step into your Dharma, when you step into that high vision of yourself, even when you don't even believe it could be true to you or for you, but you say yes to it anyways.
Exactly. And for me, that alignment with your Dharma, everything just comes to you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you're fighting against the current, everything becomes hard. When you align yourself with your Dharma, you just flow with it. Mm. And you feel it in every single cell in your body. So that is the way.
Delicioso.
Delicioso.
So what does your card say? You just pulled a That Suck Now What intention card.
Yeah. I love it because it hit right in the nail. Mm. In essentially what my intention for these upcoming days are. And it says, I know it's important to work, yet I do not revolve my life around it. I am allowed to play and have fun. Amazing.
Okay, as we get into our spill the chai section.
Okay.
All right, these are quick answers.
Okay.
We have our conversation card deck, which I usually pick, but I have specific ones for you.
Okay.
Okay, Latino food or Indian food?
Well, that's a hard one. I love Indian food, but Latino, arroz y frijoles y plátano maduro.
Okay, that's like Indian. That's like dal chawal. That's like rice and beans is rice and beans wherever you go.
Yes, rice and beans, plátano maduro, plantain.
Okay.
And we do it with a little bit of honey in low cooked. That with
honey on the beans.
Yes, no, on the plantain.
Oh,
so you cook the plantain and then you put it with honey.
Okay.
Very slow.
And then on the frijoles.
And you put it on the side.
Okay, on the
and
side.
you can put some cinnamon, and that's that with anything.
Okay, bubble bath or candle and wine?
I would say wine and conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be my go-to thing.
Oh, yeah. And I know we're talking about Italy, but Italy or where it all began, Kuala Lumpur.
Italy 1,000 times. I don't know what it's. My family is Italian. I speak now just a little bit of Italian, but my soul has been calling me to go to Italy for the longest time. After 2 glasses of wine, I'm fluid Italian, but I want to be fluid Italian with no wine. So I don't, it sounds, that thing that I was saying, this part that I'm stepping into, the deliciousness, Italian just sounds delicious.
It's very delicious. I'm with you. Italy is it's a favorite place for me too. And one word that describes this season.
There is a word in Italian that I really love, and it's called coccolare. And that is like indulge yourself, like delicious, like when you take a bubble bath and it's just delicious. Coccolare, and that is the only thing that I know it means. That, I would say, is my word.
Woo! Francesca Facio, I love you, sister. I am just so inspired by your journey and your commitment to changing and transforming so many lives. I've seen how people have been rooting you on, even from our communities, and then in the Mind Valley Coach communities. It has been just an honor to see, and you are a testament that everyone has that dream. It depends on if you are ready. And maybe some of you are listening, watching this today on YouTube. Maybe you're ready to take that leap. Maybe you're ready to unleash your wings. Get Francesca's book. I think that will be the next step in order to change the next iteration of your life. So thank you so much for who you are. I love you.
Thank you. And the same of you, Neeta. You have brought this light into so many people's lives, but especially empowering women and just surrounding them with your love and with your light. And one of the people who has really elevated my wings, my life, my everything is you, because you've loved me so fiercely. You believed in me so fiercely. And I remember before going on stage last year that you say, go change. You're big.
Go change your outfit. It's got to be more sexy.
And you have believed in me more than I have believed in myself so many times. And you have been this angel always, not only on my life, on so many lives. So thank you for all that you do in the world. You're unbelievable. So thank you.
I love you. Thank you
too.
for making me cry. Until next time, everyone, if you love this episode, please comment below. If you're listening to this, watching this on YouTube, we would love to hear what your favorite part was. If this made you cry as well, go ahead and follow Francesca Facio. I will link her Instagram handle in the show notes, but you can actually get her book, Unleash Your Wings. You want to get that. You want to get that for your book club, for your bestie, for all of the friends in your work group, in your PTA group, in the mamas group. Post this book. I guarantee you it will forever change the course of your conversations, your relationships, and your life. And I will link Unleash Your Wings, the actual book that links directly to Amazon so we can support Fran. I always love supporting my authors. And without further ado, I also have 3 additional links to more juicy and delicious episodes that you could lean into, tap into, to follow your Dharma, step into your purpose, your soul's highest calling of yourself, and to begin the part of stepping into that new you. If you love this episode, go ahead and rate us. If you haven't already given us a 5-star review, what are you waiting for? You can tag us at Neeta Bhushan, tag us at The Brave Table, follow us on Instagram. We'd love, love, love to hear your stories. And when you actually take your screenshot of your review, go ahead and send it to support@globalgrit.co. That is support@globalgrit.co. And I will send you a free gift. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time on The Brave Table.